Do it. Let's go.
All right. 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to another episode of the Play It Up podcast
Woohoo.
with your hosts, Mike and Denny.
Hello again.
Live, not live at all, from Brisbane, Australia.
Based on our last episode, it's definitely not going to be live. Might be minor delays, everybody.
Yeah, true. But yeah, thought we'd meet up tonight, have a quick catch up. We haven't done a podcast for maybe over 6 months because
It's
I
been a
don't remember
while.
having a broken collarbone and then podcasting with a broken collarbone in between.
Yep.
Yeah, no idea.
No,
Yeah,
it's been a while, and we've also been abandoned tonight. So it's just Mikey and I, and Shaun's currently overseas. Decided to head back to Germany for a little while, not permanent this time, unless we do things to try and keep him out the country, which it's not off the table. But yeah, and also Neil obviously is not able to make it tonight, obviously as well. So hope to see you back again soon, Neil. Yeah, don't know. So what did you have in mind for tonight, Mikey?
Yeah, probably just like a quick little catch up about what we've been doing, what we've been playing. What's been going on in our little retro old school gaming spaces, and then the rundown of the BPAC events coming up. And the BPAC starts on the 17th of July, a little bit earlier for some of the pre-events. And yeah, it's going to be a solid couple of days of console gaming, Atari up to Dreamcast era, N64, the big N64 events, the 4-player events, GoldenEye, Mario Kart. But we'll get into the details later on.
Yeah, that's the real 64. Don't worry about this Commodore 64 gear. The N64 is where it's at.
That's it. Jeez. So yeah, I know. What about yourself, Denny? What have you been up to? What's been going on,
mate? I've been living my best life as a dull human being, and I'm awfully happy about it. Actually, to be honest, there's been quite a lot of projects work that's been going on, just incidental stuff that's come up. And so, mate, yeah, what's worth the mention? Hidden behind my laptop is a Donkey Kong Cabaret cabinet that I didn't even think about. But yeah, that's probably one of the main things that's worth the mention and occupied my time. Picked up a Mortal Kombat that I've restored in that time as well. So that, other hand, there we go. That one behind
nice.
me there.
Yep, beautiful.
So that's MK, though it's a little out of focus at the moment, but it's weird. Like when we show the my camera always shows a good focus of me, but then it doesn't really get the vibrancy and color of the background very well. And since we've been doing all of our episodes, I've been trying to get that right so that it actually looks like it's not just a washed out sort of mess of color behind me, but still working on that.
Even with just phone camera, man, anytime you take a photo of an arcade machine, you do the focus on it. If you're not turning the brightness to near all the way to the bottom, you're going to have super bright washout on everything from the marquee, the screen, the lights.
Yeah.
It's just the nature of those things.
Such a shame because it looks beautiful, but in person, much nicer. But so Dennis, I'll never make a good cameraman. But yeah, so I picked up the MK. That is Ben Campbell from 1989's X MK.
Nice.
That used to be on site there. So tiny little piece of 1989 history, my garage now, which is great because while 89 was running, I never got the chance to go down to Sydney town and check it out. And that just, it still hurts knowing that. But yeah, one small consolation is that when Ben was getting rid of a few of his cabinets in his collection, I was able to snap that up. The CRT got necked in it from, I don't know, I haven't been able to get that out of Mark Bell or by Ben Campbell to find out who actually necked the original monitor in it.
Shit,
I'd love to know. But, I'm sure that there's a story behind that one. But yeah, so I've committed a cardinal sin of arcade with that, Mikey, and I've put in an LCD. But the Unico 26-inch LCD that's in it's an arcade LCD monitor. It's designed for arcade. It has native RGB input. So you can just take your RGB input that usually plugs into the chassis of a CRT and straight into the back of an LCD screen. So it produces a beautiful picture. Low voltage, so it runs 12-volt DC, so it's like super safe, much better than running like a high voltage CRT.
Yep.
So, cumulatively speaking, it's pretty good and it looks awesome. So
nice. Have you been playing it much?
Yeah,
Beautiful.
been hammering it. Old Henry boy and I have been getting into a bit of Mortal Kombat, which is good.
Such a classic, absolute classic.
It was interesting that he started playing as a Scorpion, and that was my first choice back in the day as well. So yeah, but these days I'm more of a Raiden fan. So Johnny Mac, I'm sure you'd approve, mate. Raiden. So so we've been having a few games, and it's been fun.
Cool.
Awesome. But I think what else have I been doing? It's funny, like we always talk about like in our Play It Up chat, our Facebook chat, we always talk about the things that we're up to, and we're always up to stuff. But then when we start to record an episode, we're like, "What are you doing?" Like
you're on the spot. You have to remember everything you did in the last.
I don't know
6 months.
what I did.
Shit.
Still alive. Had a birthday. About it. I was getting my cabinet prepped for the next Kong off, so I believe that this is on standby.
Cool.
Perfectly up and running. But because of the number of cabinets reduced for Kong off this year, I am still not 100% whether it's going to get used or not. But in all honesty, it's not a bad thing. So I'm only 10 minutes down the road from the venue of where BPAC is this year, so it's not exactly a big distance for me to travel if the cab is needed. So
good stuff.
I've ordered a bunch of artwork for Space Demon. So I've got reproduction artwork. You can actually see behind me I got my hand right this time. It's over that shoulder there. So you can see the side art for Space Demon is there with the Kong off marquee, trying to flatten it out. I was hoping to let that rest and breathe so that I can apply it easily to the sides of the cabinet, which is over here. So that's where we're at the moment. There's the remainder of the artwork that's got to go on it. So new instruction card, instruction sticker, and control panel overlay. No replacement stick for it yet, because they're a special two-way stick that go into that control panel. It's actually the same as the one that's in Space Fever. So like it's a dirty big like mechanical assembly. Like back then, Nintendo did joysticks properly, man. Like far out. They are heavy. The difference between what goes into Space Fever and what's going into Space Demon is probably the length of the shaft that is welded to the joystick assembly. I think it's like, I don't know, 2.5, 3 centimeters longer, just to pop out proud enough from the control panel so that it's easier to play. Because I actually did take one of the I took the assembly out of the 2-player side of Space Fever. I went to put in Space Demon, and it barely cleared the top. So it was it was scratching along the control panel overlay, and you couldn't get your fingers under it to like move the stick left to right. And I was like,
no,
it's not the right part. Shit. No. So I've had to go back to the old drawing board and try and find someone in the States who's got a dusty old 2-way stick mechanism, and it'll be at a premium, of course. Because anything like that is you've got to make it rain these days for all the old boys that hang on to this sort of stuff. So
and for postage from America too.
Yeah, thanks for reminding me. But yeah, you're right. I'm gonna get cornholed on the freight as well, which there's not much you can do about it. But
that's it.
Yeah. That's what I've been doing. I had a friend of the podcast, Blair Weston. He's known as Dragonstorm on Discord. He's got a Commodore 64 monitor, a 1084S that I sent off and got repaired recently because it was beyond my skill to heal. So Blair had he ordered a push button mechanism, because the push button on the on the 1084S, the power button usually flakes out. I think it's either the plastic or the spring or something goes in it. I don't know whichever one, but you can order new ones, right? So he's put in a new one, wired it up because he's like, it's just a push button. I can change this, and then powered it up, and he told me about it. Said, it made this loud bang noise, and I didn't have anything after that. And I was like, pretty sure that might be beyond my skill to heal. And so took it to a gentleman on the north side near you, mate, actually, Paul Ridgway. And so Paul spent probably the better part of a week on and off between jobs, running and testing a few bits and pieces on that monitor. And so there was a bunch of things that got blown up in line from when that happened. So because the wiring, it's like a little step down transformer in between from the push button to that switches the mains power off and on. So what had happened is that both sides had been bridged out with 240. And when you do that, because it's meant to be low voltage on one side and higher voltage on the other, that's what step down trans do. Made a few things pop. But that's okay. It's the good news is that it's all up and running now and nice and crispy. I can see why they're popular monitors, Mikey, because watching it run, it's beautiful. Like the RGB on them is just gorgeous.
Right. I've heard about them being good, but I've never seen one in person.
So pretty happy to see that one brought back to life, and I think it was definitely a good thing to seek a little bit of higher power in that instance, because I don't think I would have been able to fix it within a very decent time frame anyway. So. Yeah, mate. That's about us. Looking at my garage around here and looking at everything laying around. Probably not much else I can talk about. But what about yourself? What's been going on?
I broke my collarbone back in January.
Yes, you did.
So that was not a lot of fun. The following 2.5 to 3.5 months, also not a lot of fun. I was probably banned from gaming for at least 2 weeks before I just forced myself to do it. And it was just sort of having the arm, because I couldn't really move my left shoulder, so having the arm out in front for more than half an hour with a controller in my hands.
That would have been testing time for console gaming for you, mate.
Yeah, that's it. And a bad time for fitness myself too. And I pretty much rely on fitness for mental health, basically. So when I started to enter the black hole, it was a good couple of weeks of just not fun, negative. Everything was negative. There was no upside to anything I could think about. So you
would have been on the painkillers as well at that point, which wouldn't have.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, actually, you only use the painkillers for a few weeks, and then maybe even 2 weeks after surgery, and then I didn't need them to be able to sleep.
Great.
What was waking me up, even with painkillers, was just like rumbling my shoulder a little bit, and I'd be like, "Oh God, yeah." Still, and having to lay on my back with a sling in bed, that was probably the worst part, because
wow,
I'm not enough sleep as well, I guess. But it's all come together the last couple of months. Got the surgery, got a plate put in on top, physio, rehab. Still got physio once a week, even now. This is like 6 months after now? 5 months after. And it's just come back together really well. I was cleared about a month and a half ago to just like, I can put any weight or any strain on my shoulder that I want. It's now regular human body strength. So
business as usual.
That's it. Yeah. So back into the gym finally after a long time. And I had my first bike ride yesterday, which was nice.
Yes. Awesome.
Got out on the Kedron Brook, just up and down, rode to the bike shop and booked it in for a service, and some new chain and gears and stuff.
Excellent. It's good to hear that everything's slowly getting back to normal after that.
Yeah, that's it. It was, happy. I'm very happy. It's come along.
It was around January, because it was after Christmas when that happened, wasn't it? Yeah. Bummer. That's a real pain of a way to start a new year, man. Hopefully that's not an annual thing.
It's not the best, but now I'm here. And
what else has been happening?
Been helping plan and organize a lot of the console stuff for BPAC.
Yes, you have.
I've working with John Tannehill to lock in the list of games for the Australian Classic Console Championships. We did our first post reveal of the first 9 games week back or so.
Yep. Should we be referring to it as the ACCC, do you think?
Yes, we are. Yep, ACCC. Hashtag that. There'll be a lot of mixed, weird hashtags going on when you're looking through the recent histories.
I love that.
So that's been pretty full on the last couple of weeks, trying to like lock in the tracks, lock in just testing games to see which ones which when you die the score stays up. If you pause it, the score's on the screen. Things like that you don't think about when you're trying to get a score.
Any games that come to mind that you think to yourself, oh man, this would have been a great game if only the score stayed up when you died?
Rayman doesn't have a score. We were like, how does it not have a score? What's going on? It's like one of those classic, beautiful looking platformers of all time, and no score. We still played it for like 15 minutes. We just couldn't help ourselves.
Yeah. That's a shame, man. So what sort of sessions were involved with selection? How many hours do you reckon went into choosing these?
3, 4, 10, probably maybe even 15 all up, working together and working apart as well.
Wow.
Maybe 20 hours, just back to back, just scrolling through stuff.
I mean, there's plenty of worse ways to waste your time, but
I know.
It's it would be pretty fun though. Was it all separate sessions, or did you guys sort of get together to sort of work out any details or any issues between the two? Like, were there any I want this, but I don't want this sort of scenarios? Or
not really. No, we're all sort of like we worked with Shaun at the start, and then he had to pull out. He was doing Battle of the Arcades, captaining and preparing for Europe and stuff. So yeah, it was just me and John. And I would think something's perfect, and John would just give me the straight answer of like, it can't because of this. I'm like, oh, cool. Well, of course it can't. Oh, there we go. Let's move on to the next one. And it was really like quick fire, back and forward. We'll grab a game, have a look, or think about a game, and maybe even just not even put it in, but just have a think about it and then make a decision. But yeah, we had to split it across, from Atari 2600 up to Dreamcast, and around about 2 games per console. So, and that's split across 4 different genres. So you got racing, platformers, wild cards, which are generally like puzzlers or weird other sorts of games, and I'm missing one, and racing games. Yeah,
of course. It wouldn't be a Mike Coolican selected list without a racing game thrown in there.
Of course not. Yeah, that first reveal out with Gran Turismo, I was very, very happy.
Yeah.
We've got a nice mediumly powered Skyline GTR 4-wheel drive turbo, and it's handleable. It's not one of those ones that just rockets you into the balls at every corner. So the turbo,
it's not 11 either. You can just sit there and like potter around the corners either.
Yeah, no, that's it. So there is a bit of I'm sure if you've driven any sort of racing game, it's not off its face. This car, it's handleable, and it's a good track. It's Trial Mountain as well, so nice and open. You can see all the corners coming up. You just
that's great. It'll make for some good competition then, because if there's enough go in the car, and enough challenge, not too much, but enough challenge to try and get people out, then those milliseconds are going to start making the difference. So that's actually a really good way to choose it. That'll be cool.
Yeah, and that's pretty much what we tried to do across anything that had a variable a variable speed input, basically, from what you're choosing. So we were trying to choose good tracks, mediumly paced to fast paced cars or vehicle, and stuff that's also going to be fun and feel iconic when you're playing it, because it's about the Australian Championships of classic console. So we're trying to get a fair few games that all the Aussies would have most likely played if they had an Atari. They most likely, if they had a Super NES, they would have played this game. We're trying to get that old school feeling as well at the same time as choosing the right track for each game. But yeah, and saying, going back to how many sessions, we had 3 solid sessions. So 1 projector session in the backyard with Shaun and John, and then me and John had another session at my place a few weeks back, and that was just on the CRT in the and we also used the big TV as well with the mini consoles hooked up. Those mini consoles were absolute gems. especially the PS1 Mini that's loaded with
awesome.
All sorts of Super NES ROMs, all sorts of PS1 ROMs. It was good.
Yep, that's been it's been a former key focus of any gaming evening over at Mikey's place for anyone who wasn't able to join us. So yeah, the PS1 Mini, it's a good piece of kit.
Just as soon as you hack it, it becomes a million times better. It's still got 5 to 10 pretty awesome games on it, but out of 21, they could
have done better.
Raider, Crash, just don't even go there. Yeah. Don't even cry about it again.
Don't even.
But yeah, I mean, outside of the ACCC and the planning, I've been part of that was putting together an itemized list of things that we need for this console comp, because we're going to have 8 consoles lined up, 8 CRTs lined up. We're going to have a spare console for each console, just in case one breaks down. So have the backup.
Yeah.
N64 comps, we want to have 4 N64s. So 4 TVs, 4 N64s. That's that 16 controllers running at once. So a lot of gear coming in. We put the word out to some of the community people, and then they were keen to lend things in. And so it's I think that we got to about 130 or 140 line items for the whole, from speed running races through to N64 comps towards the end. Yeah. So it's a pretty ultimate punch as well. Yeah, so that's going to have a GameCube thrown in with Soul Calibur 2.
Oh, okay.
And that's been it. I did a little bit of gaming outside of that a few weeks back when I wasn't really feeling the crunch to really nut out all what we need for all the console comps. So a bit of Command & Conquer Red Alert and a little bit of Doom 64. Still playing through it.
Books. Sorry.
Oh man, I can't believe I wasn't there for the episode. I was just watching the recap episode this morning. Oh no, yesterday morning.
You were there. You and I were there. So I think
really?
Yeah, because when that got recorded, that section, Neil was because it was all down here at my place when we recorded that.
Was that one?
So Shaun was still in Germany. It was myself, you, and Neil. I think that I might have gone up to look for a beer, and you went up for a leak while the Game of System guys were talking to Neil. We came down, and Neil was like, books, and I think like if you look at me in the background and you were just like, hey, great, what's he talking about?
We missed it. There we go. I thought I fully missed it. Okay, there we go. Nice.
Not at all, sir. Like we were here for it, but we came in just after the fact, and so
fair enough. Yep.
Throwbacks. If you don't know what that's about, then go and listen to the previous episode, which is our best of part 2, which took like 6 months to cut together. So please listen to it.
Yeah.
Please. It's definitely worth your while if you want to know what Play It Up is all about, and all of our favorite parts. It's it's worth your time. It's a couple of hours long, so it's a lot of fun. Might need to be broken down to small views, but so I digress. Sorry, mate. Take us off track.
Yeah. So a bit of Doom 64. I got a Facebook memory pop up that showed me playing it a year ago. And I was like, oh my god, I've been playing this thing for a year and I still haven't finished it.
That's right.
But that's fine. I'm savoring it, because when I get to go in there and play it, it's like it is a joy. It's tough when you get the new level and you just go out and die, and you try it again. You die like a minute later into the level. But it's actually really nice to get in there with your loadout, with the amount of bullets and weapons you have, and just work out how to get through. And
that is the full Doom experience, isn't it? Really, Mikey, to go there and just get absolutely laid to waste like 100 times in a level until you work it out.
It's good. It's a good challenge. I love it.
I've got to go back to it someday, hey, because every time you talk about the back catalogue of Dooms you've been playing and the photos that go on the Play It Up chat, I'm like, oh, I've got to do that myself. But then I've got my own list that I haven't even started.
Yep.
So, mate, I'd love to do it.
That's it. Geez. And I don't know. A little bit of Gradius on the Nintendo DSi XL on the Konami Classics collection. Beautiful. And learning it. It's super, super tough, but And I've only realized just recently that the AI ramps up as you power up, and I never knew that before.
Oh, really? I didn't know
So
that either. Okay.
the more weapons you have laid up on top of each other, the faster the enemies are, the more bullets they shoot, and the faster their shots go.
That makes a lot of sense, though. I
Yeah,
guess.
but
Like,
yeah, when I
yeah, right.
realized it, it sort of blew my mind. I was like, because you can power up pretty quick in that first level, but
Mm.
then the enemies are just smashing you at full speed. So if you sort of like lay off a little bit and not power up too
Just
much,
play it cool. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, right. I'll have to keep that in mind because, yeah, that's kind of the peril of any shoot 'em up is that
mm,
first thing you want to try and do is gear up as
yeah,
quickly as you can to try and defend yourself. But then the
yep,
game's like, haha, well, have I got a
yeah,
surprise for
yeah.
you?
This is a
So,
pretty old game, man. I think it's like 1987 or so.
yeah, I'm pretty
Gradius.
sure Gradius was like one of the earliest NES releases, I think.
Yeah, yeah. And I was actually thinking about it for the ACCC because on the NES on the NES Mini it's on there, right? And but I was thinking it is an arcade game, so I was probably shouldn't really put it in. But I've never seen a Gradius cab in Australia in my whole life. I never
No.
remember seeing one. I sent a message to John McNeil and to Derek Broadfoot, and I was like, they have some serious arcade history between them. I was like, did you guys ever see a Gradius when you were growing up, like in the 80s or 90s? They
No.
both said no. Like I just don't think it made it to Australia.
Mm.
Like I know the Americans love it. It's obviously a big Japanese game as well, but
Yep.
uh,
Isn't that
yeah,
odd?
it's something
Cons-
missing from
con-
Australian arcade history, I believe.
yeah, considering the finds that we've had with like classic cabinets over the last 12
Yeah,
months, like the Hellfire
yeah,
hall that we found and a space demon amongst them as well, like, and they're super rare games. You would think that maybe the possibility might exist that a Gradius might have got out there at some
mm-hmm.
point as well.
Mm-hmm.
It's not, considering what we've got, it's not outside of the realm of
No,
possibility that would happen.
there's
So,
got to be some out there, but
uh,
yeah, it's funny. I remember a lot of other arcade games growing up, but never seen a Gradius in the flesh anywhere.
hmm. Yeah,
Maybe the
definitely,
closest.
definitely not. Neither.
I
No,
think the closest I've seen was Scramble
Gallagher,
back in the
Gallagher
day.
everywhere for me.
Yeah,
Otherwise, Gallagher in
Galag's
every
all over the place.
yeah, Gallag, yeah, that's right. In every pub and
Yep.
flipping corner shop and fish and chip shop everywhere. Yeah,
Yeah, those were the days. Fish and chip shops are just not doing it right these days. Laundromats, why haven't they got? Oh, they're probably all card now as well.
yeah, true.
Yeah.
Yeah, just be all Pandora's now, Mikey. Just
Mm.
insulting.
Disgusting.
Yeah. Ugh. Um. Yeah. So,
Yeah, sure.
what else we covered? Did you have any other interesting little tidbits that you're able to share about the upcoming BPAC or?
Yeah, for sure, for sure. So, we haven't got a post out for the second half of the speed running races yet, but we can definitely share the details of it. So we have Sonic 2. That's going to be one of the speed running races. So speed running races is four people on four consoles and four TVs. Well, one TV each per console. Everyone presses start at the same time. They all have to get to the end of level 1 or to the end of level 3. Whoever's the first is first place, second, third, fourth. And that's how it's going to run. So it'll be a quick 2, 3, 5 minute game. We'll have a winner, we'll have a second place, third, fourth. It's possible first and second might go through to the next round, depending on how many people we have competing.
Yep.
If not, it'll be top 3 go through the next round, or just the top 1 if we have a whole bunch of people playing in the comps. So yeah, Sonic 2 and Crash Bandicoot 1 on original PS1.
Oh, good
And
choice.
so
Yeah.
Sonic 2, the rules is to the end of zone 1, stage 2, I believe.
Yep.
And you hit the capsule is when the timer stops, or the first person to get there. That's the point.
Okay.
And Crash Bandicoot is from the start of level 1 to the end of level 2, landing on the level 2 podium at the end of that level. So yeah.
Yeah. Crash Bandicoot, that'll be something to see because there's yeah, it's quite challenging and it's a fun game to play as well, especially when you really try and like play at speedrun strats because there's a lot of things can trip you up even early on in the game. I love that. I can't wait to see that.
Yeah, that's going to be so great, and that's mixing in with NES Mario Brothers 1. So you're going to press, start level 1, and the first time you get to Bowser and defeat him, the timer stops for the first, second, third place. Yeah. So no warps, no glitches. Just run as fast as you can through level, the first 4 screens of Mario, basically.
World 1.
Yep, world 1. Yep, defeat Bowser. And Alex Kidd as well. I think Alex Kidd is to the end of level 2, and then you have the Janken fight with Stonehead.
Yep.
I think, after the maybe as you defeat or as you finish the fight with the Stonehead, that'll be the speed run for that one.
So it includes the first fight. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, cool.
So so that's the speed running races wrapped up. Let me just bring up the little calendar.
I can just hear the Janken music in my head now. I can imagine a few consoles lined up, all like starting Janken music at the same time. It'll be like what you get when you start DK. You get like the opening tone. It'll be instead. Awesome.
All right, so that's Wednesday the 17th is the speedrunning races at 7 p.m. at night as well. So if you're thinking you can't make it during the day,
oh boy,
there's a competition at night to come and check out, guys. Like,
that's right.
Spectating's free as well. If you just come and watch the action, no worries at all. Come along, check it out, hang out, see some cool old consoles. There'll be other consoles to play as well.
Yep.
Have
a beer with Dr. Aaron. Chill out.
That's it.
He'll be there.
So then on Thursday the 18th, that's when we have the Australian Classic Console Championships. That the better ACCC, I'd say. Starts at 10 a.m.
For anyone that's just listening to the podcast, isn't watching the video, like I've got like this smirk on my face every time like Mikey mentions ACCC. It's hilarious.
So that's kicking off 10 o'clock in the morning on the Thursday, the 18th.
Yep.
That's just going to be full size comps. So 16 different games, 8 different consoles. You'll be paired up old school Swiss style. We'll do a qualifying and have a Swiss 16th versus first and so on. And that's that. Let me just maybe announce some of the games that we haven't revealed yet in the post. So, and maybe I'll announce all of them. Yeah. So let's go to my little picture here. So the first round we revealed was Pitfall and Atari 2600. We had Mega Man 1 as well on NES. We've got Castle of
great box art.
For the post I specifically chose the PAL box art because it's horrid, weird, geometric.
It's classic. It's
weirdness.
It's famous for a reason. Oh boy.
Yeah, let me just
so Castle of Illusion you mentioned as well, mate. Sorry to
that's right. I just lost my picture and I was going to zoom in so we can have a look at that great box art because it is just absolutely ridiculous.
It's amazing. Yeah.
See if my camera can pick it up. There he is. Just that weird squat stance. It's just like, what is going on? Who decided to like? It's just,
wow.
It's like someone was drunk and tried to draw Tron. I don't know.
It's very abnormal and uncomfortable. And they're in Mega Man's in West Coast Eagles colors as well, which is just makes things extra weird.
Peter Sumich kicking left foot through the points. Please. I used to watch footy back in the 90s. That's all I remember.
Yep. Got your Ben Cousins sort of.
He's your cousin, mate, not mine. What a drop kick, man! Oh god, that's a really terrible. Accidental dad joke.
Reliving all the memories.
Yeah,
all the memories.
Yeah, just
for those who don't know AFL, then
Fuck, just think of we'll just move on. AFL's boring as shit.
Yeah.
Not to Neil though. He loves the old Collingwoods.
No, he's a Blues fan.
Blues.
Is our Neil Cairns? Yes, he's a Carlton fanatic. Nice. I'm a Crow supporter. So nobody likes my choice of team anyway, and that's fine. I'm okay with that. But
Ree is a big Freo supporter. She go Dockers all day.
Yep.
Yeah, she even made me wear the scarf when we went to see him in Perth.
Yep. Oh, that's all right.
Anyway,
Yeah.
back to the game list. We digress. Sega Master System's Castle of Illusion.
Great. How's how does it go? I've never actually seen the Master System Castle of Illusion
Oh,
version. Is it superior to Mega Drive, or is it because it was released on Mega Drive, wasn't it? Castle of Illusion as well.
pretty sure. Not 100% sure, but I'm fairly sure it was.
John, I'm sure you'll correct me anyway, but
Yeah.
yeah, I'm certain that I saw it released on Mega Drive and thinking to myself, because yeah, back in the days when I still had NES and Mega Drive was released,
Mm.
made me think, looks like an interesting game because yeah, actual Disney animation and
Yeah.
yeah, it looks like a fun game to play. So I'm actually looking forward to playing that. It'd be
Yeah.
really
And
good.
it looks really beautiful as well. I forgot how good Master System games can look.
Mm.
Like compared to a lot of NES games, where the color palette is a lot more brighter and richer and vibrant on Master System.
Mm.
And I mean, and part of that, the whole testing thing was like, I'm not in the games room right now because it's just tubs. There's tubs on the floor. I had to pull out so many different consoles and controllers and power cords and AV cables to get these big testing runs done. I literally can't walk in there. It's just crap
Been
everywhere.
been evacuated into the other room. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh
So,
boy.
moving up to Mega Drive, we have columns. It's going to be great having the 3 minute time trial mode.
Ah, Ben Benasek. Columns.
Ah,
You love it?
Ben Ben's going to show us how to do that one. And then Mega Drive again, we have Thunder Force 4, one of the most revered, beautiful, big, amazingly sounding side-scrolling shoot 'em ups ever made
Yeah.
for consoles, 16-bit era.
Great game.
Just absolutely awesome. We have Axelay on Super NES as well, which is a vertical and sideways scrolling shoot 'em up. Beautiful, a lot of Mode 7 graphics going on in the background, and loads of parallax, loads of cool stuff. Yeah. And obviously PS1, we have sort of my choice, my baby, Gran Turismo. Um, so that should be fun. Yeah, nice, evenly tuned car, good track. It's gonna, like Wave Race as well. So Wave Race on Nintendo 64, we chose a great classic seaside looking course.
Yep.
Nice big varied track, nothing too crazy, just like big, and it's going to be fun to play all these, even though we're going to be, trying to max out our score or get a really good time. It's either way, you're still playing games that are fun, and that's we also wanted to have that big element to whoever plays, no matter how good or bad you are at games, you're going to have fun, like anyway.
Yeah. Yep.
And then for N64, we have another N64 game, Sin and Punishment.
Oh,
It's
okay.
it's like a almost like a rail shooter, I guess you call it. It's pretty. It's like a third-person view semi-rail shooter. You can move left, right, up and down, jump and dodge and stuff, but it's still kind of on rails, a little bit Panzer Dragoonish type of thing.
Yeah, okay. Interesting.
Yeah, which is a very cool looking game. It's very the story and the anime cutscenes are it's very Evangelion-esque, so just weird sci-fi anime, lots of crazy shit going on storyline wise. But yeah, the gameplay is ultra fun.
Doesn't get any more crazy. Actually, no, this day and age it does get a lot more crazy than Evangelion. I should probably add. But back then it was pretty out there, but yeah, not so much
That's it.
now.
All right, so let's get on to the second round of games we haven't revealed yet on the post for ACCC. We have, going from the top, let me just bring up my little list. All right, classic Atari 2600 shoot 'em up, River Raid.
Oh,
Yep,
fantastic.
that is brilliant little game.
Great.
We also have Power Strike 2 for Sega Master System, which I hadn't seen until John pulled it out. He said he'd heard about it, so let's give it a crack. And great little shoot 'em up, like
Yeah.
a lot of fun. Yeah.
I've never heard of it. So yeah,
Ah,
interested to have a look.
all right, we have a interesting mix-up for this one. Probably a cartridge most people wouldn't own right now or have played back in the day, but they've definitely played the game. Donkey Kong Country Championship cartridge, blockbuster style. So that was an American blockbuster release, and it had it has a 5 minute caravan mode where you have 5 minutes to get the highest score you can get in Donkey Kong Country from pressing start at the start to the end of your 5 minutes, and it counts up your score with how many bananas, how many free lives, how many bonus things you sort of get during your run.
Great.
So that's going to be an interesting one. So you can practice it. You can practice it regular on your Donkey Kong Country at home. But this one, with the ROM that we'll be running will be Championship Kart ROM. It has the timer on it and the points as well, which is the only big difference. Yeah.
Yep.
So there is a well-known glitch for this one where you can replay the first level over and over and really maximize. People doing world records will do this. But yeah, that's not allowed in this comp. So when you get to the end of level 1, you have to go through the tunnel, level 2, and progress each time. Same with Pitfall, actually. Like, we didn't realize that you start with 2,000 points. So you could have sent, if you really hate Pitfall, you could just press start and walk away, and 10 minutes later, boom, you've got your 2,000 points. But no, the rule is you have to progress. So yeah. And the end of each level, Pitfall, you pick up the little gold, little thing of gold. There's your big bonus points. Get to those at the end of every level. You're going to have a good amount of points. Yeah.
Excellent.
All right. One of the wild cards coming through for PlayStation 1, which is another old favorite of mine. Not that I'm any good at it, but it's interesting game. It's called Karushi, and it's known in the NTSC regions as IQ, which is a 3D block puzzler where you're a little guy standing on a big platform of blocks, and a section of blocks pop up in front of you and start rolling towards you, like Indiana Jones boulder style.
Oh, okay.
And you have to activate a block by pressing X and then walk off that block. And then as one of the blocks falls onto the blue activated cell, you press X again, and that makes the block disappear.
Wow.
So essentially a block puzzler, but in a 3D world, and these blocks are rolling towards you.
Oh, boy.
And there's that puzzle element that, like, real nasty puzzle games like to give you of, like, if you can do it in the set amount of moves, you've done well. If you don't do it in a set amount of moves, you miss a bit of points at the end of it. Like, you've done it 2 or 3 or 4 moves after you should have finished it. Yeah, so it's got that little element. And to really, really annoy people too, between levels, it gives you your IQ. It'll tell you what they think your IQ is from how well you did in the levels.
Not sure I want to play that game.
And if you've ever played Dr. Kawashima's Brain Training on DS, that can be really mean, man.
Brutal.
It really tells you how shit you are at maths, or how bad your acuity is. So yeah, that's the PS1.
Oh boy.
And yeah, I can't reveal the other 2 yet because Mr. Tannehill's working on the tracks. He's going to be getting those tracks out soon.
Yep.
All the tracks that we have in the first post, they're on the BPAC website, bnepac.org. You can go there and check the tracks yourself if you want to, start your training at home or do some practice, whatever you want to do. It'll be in, like, the I think the one of the links at the top that's like competition rules or something. It'll be one of those, yeah. So we'll be adding those as we post the new ones. We'll be adding those up as well to the tracks listing. I guess that brings us to Ultimate Punch as well. Mm-hmm. So we've got Ultimate Punch coming up. Ultimate Punch Console Edition for the first time in BPAC history. Probably the most common way to play our fighting games in the past 20 years has been at home on a console. So
it sure has.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome. The list of games is pretty rad as well. So the first reveal we had on the post was Fighting Vipers for Sega Saturn. We've got Soul Calibur 2 for GameCube. We've got Mortal Kombat Complete Edition for PS3 or Xbox 360, whichever one you had. And Street Fighter 6 on PS5.
Wow.
So big hitters, famous games. Fighting Vipers not so famous, but still a fun little basher, like little button masher. Good time. And then for the remainder of the fighting games, we have so going up from PS5 downwards, Tekken 8 on PS5. We have Power Rangers, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the Fighting Edition on Super NES, which is it sounds terrible, but when you play it, it's a really good fighting game. Like it's pretty fun.
Cool.
And Guilty Gear on PS1 as well.
Of course. Yep.
So yeah, that's the reveal for all of those babies.
Fantastic.
There was one more for the second round of games. The second round of ACCC games. The other one that I can mention is original Need for Speed.
Oh.
Going way back, yeah. you're doing one of those segment runs, which is like a 2.5 to 3.5 minute section, depending on how well you do, and just classic. Like when I first played Need for Speed, I was like, oh my god, it's so realistic. This is like a simulation. And then after playing racing games for the last 20 years, 30 years, it's actually very arcadey and super fun. Not serious at all. You hit a wall, you're just going to bounce off it and keep rolling. You're not going to be like stopping and like crashing and stuff.
Yeah, when you head on, it's just like a short animation of the car flipping and like slide off somewhere, then back again. I used to have the Need for Speed SE on PC,
nice.
And
that's a good one.
What a game, man! I sunk so many hours in Need for Speed SE.
Yep.
Dodge Viper RT10 Coastal Track.
Yep.
So fun. That or the NSX. That was
yep.
also...
Yep. The Acura NSX. Beautiful. So yeah, going back to the old calendar, that leads us to, I guess, the Kong off qualifying, level 3 Donkey Kong competition.
Oh, that game.
Oh yeah. I had a good game the other night. I've been enjoying my time playing it when I play it these days. It's normally like 2 or 3 credits at a time.
Oh, Mikey.
Quite spread apart, but I'm enjoying that. I forgot how good the challenge is, man. That mental challenge.
Yeah, I've been watching Denny stream, and even King Matt jumped on yesterday for a short couple of games, and
good stuff.
Yeah, just reminding everyone how much they play it. Enjoying it is probably not a term I'd use, but we're looking forward to seeing one another and then sharing our common disgust in this game.
100%.
Which I'm so disgusted with. I built my own cabinet, which figure that out. Don't try to understand it. Anyone else who isn't into DK, I can't explain it either. So yeah, won't even try.
has this magical allure to it, even though you hate the shit out of it.
Yeah, it's just a challenge. It's such a horribly brutal game, but it's equally horrible and brutal to everyone. So even if you are a seasoned player, it's just as horrible to you as somebody who's playing it for the first time. So there's appeal in that, I feel, and it's great. It's a great competition game because of that.
Yeah,
so that's why we've been able to do it for. So it's going to be Kong off 7 this year.
Correct. Yep.
So,
wow. Like in my game the other night, I was on level 2 barrels and I had to do 2 backwards jumps to get through 3 evenly, weirdly spaced barrels, and that was just the second level. And I'm just trying to survive here.
Yeah.
If I had done straight jumps, the second barrel would have hit me. I had to do the backwards jumps with these. Oh man, why does it do that? And then I killed myself twice by jumping onto a barrel at some point, and then straight jumping a pie. I didn't press the joystick early enough, and I just landed on it.
Yep.
Oh, brilliant.
Yep. Those are definitely all things. Yeah. So you're going to see that and much more. Australian Kong.
Correct. 7. Yeah. Friday night, I think it's 7 p.m. it kicks off.
Yep.
We have Donkey Kong level 3. So use all of your
again.
Yep. All of your lives from the start of level 1 to the end of level 3. Make sure you don't finish level 3 so you can maximize some scores there.
Somebody inevitably will, though. They'll just through muscle memory pop the last rivet and be like, oops. And that's your run. I did that last year.
That'll be me. Yep. Yeah. I'm going to have to get you guys to tell me how many barrels levels there are in level 3 because I don't know this thing because all I play like screen for screen. I don't take really track of what stage I'm on.
Yeah. All you need to know, and we've mentioned it in previous episodes, but it's all like rivets is always the last board in every level. So if you just get to rivets on every level, so like level 1, 2, so get to rivets on level 3, and that's the very last level that you can play before you.
So third rivets board. That's easy. Okay, I thought it was something to do. I thought it was a barrels board you ended on.
No.
Cool. Good to know.
I think, because there's like the little transition screen that happens after you pop the last rivet, where DK falls down, and that you stand next to Pauline, and then the cycle repeats itself after that. So, trying to remember that one, and
done. Thank you, man. That's gonna Stop me finishing the bloody level.
Yeah. That's right. I expect you to take out Matt now. So
yeah,
take out the king.
Yeah. I am keen for qualifying day to get another PB. Like I really am just keen to sit down and just get some big, solid games in. I just look forward to that every year.
It's the time of the year for it.
Yeah. So yeah, 7 p.m. level 3. The next day on the 20th, we have a huge day for arcade. For console. Oh my god. We have Ultimate Punch Console Edition on that Saturday, starting at midday, 12 p.m.
Ooh.
All those games listed are going to be in there. I think it's got double elimination is how it normally runs. So you mashed up with a random opponent, you lose one game, then you've got one life left to have another go against someone else. You lose 2 rounds, you're out. We'll see what size the contestants are, how many contestants there are. We'll work it out. Then after that, we have at 4 p.m. N64 GoldenEye competition. That's always a lot of fun.
Yeah. Oh man, it was really awesome last year just to see the reception that it got. So I think Peter and all the other boys are going to be back this year, I'm sure.
Nice. Yep. A whole bunch of the pinballs will jump in as well. They loved it. They love their GoldenEye. And yeah, then we have 6 p.m. after GoldenEye, we have this N64 Mario Kart comp. So yeah, again, hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll have 4 CRTs running, 4 consoles. 4 controllers per console, 4 players, and just get smashed through these big rounds of Mario Kart and GoldenEye.
That's awesome.
All right, moving on to Sunday the 21st. Oh, sorry, the morning of Saturday the 20th is Donkey Kong off qualifying that entire day through the 20th. So that starts from 9 a.m. It'll finish sometime that night when people have given up.
Is that happening the same day that the console gaming is on as well?
It is, yeah.
Wow.
Saturday.
Okay.
Yeah, so there might be 1 or 2 crossover people that can't get into one or the other, or they have to take a break from one to do the other.
To be honest, you might think it is something that's restrictive in a way, but it's actually not, to be honest. Like, it'll probably free up a few cabinets from people who will do a crossover, like you said, and then it'll give other people a chance to get some games in. And then, once all of the comps are finished for the console gaming, the other boys can come back and finish their scores before we get kicked out of the venue. So
that's it.
It'll work well, I think. Yeah, I think that'll be good.
Nice. So that'll be Saturday the 20th, rounded up. Sunday the 21st, we have the Kong Off finals kicking off at 9 a.m. So top 16.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure it's top 16. I haven't.
Yeah, it'll be top 16. Yep. Yeah.
Pardon me. Cool. And that's sort of and then Monday night at Netherworld. The following Monday is going to be the two-headed monster. Always a fun time for whoever wants to give it a shot. So yeah, that's one person on the joystick, the other person controls the buttons.
Yep.
One person on the steering wheel, steering wheel and pedals. The other person controls the gears. One person's guiding your fighting character around. The other one punching, kicking, and blocking. It's
what a challenge, man!
Tricky little comp. Yeah, ice cold beer. So one person on the left hand side stick, the other person on the right.
That is pure torture. That is. It's
inspired. Point blank is probably the most fun one, where one person aims, the other person
on the pedal.
Clicks the trigger.
Yeah.
A lot of. It makes arcade games is a really interesting way to play arcade games. A really fun way to do it, like in a team. And that rounds out the BPAC events.
Yeah, that is enough action to pack into a few days, a few very short days, which will go like that.
Oh yeah.
Always do, but always keen to pony up again next year. So
I'm looking forward to seeing everyone as well that's coming along that we haven't seen for a year or more, even. It's always a good time.
It won't be long now. So So what were the dates for BPAC again for everybody, Mikey?
Yeah, cool. So starting off on the 17th, which is kicking off with the 60-1 comp I didn't even mention on the Wednesday.
What's that? Sorry.
Yeah, 60-1 comp. I forgot about that little baby.
Oh,
it's classic arcade target match play. Running off a 60-1, 4-way joystick games. Yeah.
Wow. Okay, I didn't even know about that. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
I completely spaced. Yeah. That's on the so starting on the 17th and then rolling through to the 22nd as that final night on the Monday.
There you go.
Of course, on the 21st, on the Sunday night of the last Sunday, there'll be a after party. There's going to be a match play closing party at Maruka at the clubhouse.
Yep.
But then there'll be a following after party from 10 o'clock at Netherworld.
Excellent.
So yeah.
There you go, folks. That's the lowdown and some exclusives here.
Yeah.
First Played Up podcast. So thank you, Mikey, for taking us through that. That's awesome.
No worries, man. Thanks.
I'm really pumped for all the awesome games that have been announced, and I'm gonna have to upgrade my tickets now to include all of those because
nice.
I wasn't sure whether I'd be doing like as many volunteer shifts or not, but now I really want to play, so I don't know what to do. I'm just one. Yeah, cool. So what else did we have on, or did we want to wrap it up there, or do you have anything else exciting that's worth the mention?
Maybe Battle of the Arcades, the games reveal.
Oh yeah, I don't have the list of the Boda games at the moment.
I'm pretty sure. I had a photo from a while back. Let me just find a photo of me and Tannehill in front of a screen. It could be here we go. Found it. Yep, found it. Sweet. So yeah, Battle of the Arcades games were announced back on June the 8th, 2024.
Yep.
Cool. So the first one I'm going to say is definitely the most obscure game that anyone has ever heard of, and it looks hilariously fun. I haven't had a go. Called Chicken Shift. Like a 2-button game, like a strange puzzler that you have to guide your chickens and your eggs lemming style around a level. Awesome. The next game is something that's a really small golden logo. I can't. Anyway, Jungle King is one of the games. We have Last Blade as well, another game.
The golden logo one you're mentioning may be Monster Lair.
Wonder Boy. Yeah, Wonder Boy 3, right?
Yeah.
Yep, cool. Wonder Boy 3. The next game was Twin Cobra, old school vertical scrolling shoot 'em up. We have Street Fighter 2 Hyper Fighting.
Yep.
Single player game, high score. If I can get past the first enemy, I'll be happy.
Yep.
Donkey Kong Jr. as well. Another Donkey Kong's made it into Battle of the Arcades. And the final one was One Up's one, which is Bubble Bobble, I think.
I can't remember.
Not Puzzle Bobble. No.
I think Bubble Bobble is one of the games, but that might have been Beercade's choice, possibly.
Right.
May have been. I don't know what One Up's one was. I'm trying to remember.
No, me either.
I haven't really gotten into the Boda side of things at the moment. Just things have been a bit busy with work, and I do need to pick up my game, try and because we've got some work that we've got to do there. It's going to be hella competitive this year, so gonna hook in, try and learn some games as soon as I find a list.
Me too. I need to learn some games this year, not like last year. I didn't have the time to practice. This year I've got a bit more time to practice, so I really want to play Chicken Shift. I just want to play that and get good at it because it looks so stupid and so funny. Shit. But yeah, definitely. Time to get stuck in.
I can't find the other games. I think we might have mentioned 8 games, but I think there were 10 that got chosen. But it doesn't matter. I'll mention it in the description for the episode.
Cool. Nice.
So yeah, I don't know. Apart from that, that's all I got. I'm keen to catch up with all the mates and hang out at BPAC. So yeah, just around the corner. Super excited.
Yeah, I can't wait. It's always so great. It's just Christmas for us nerds. Absolute Christmas.
Christmas in July.
100%.
Yeah. Well, so anything else, Mikey, at all?
I had the Tetris comp at one up last month.
Oh yeah. We had Shaun. Of course, we don't have Shaun here to bang on about Tetris. I forgot about his Tetris day that he ran with John McNeil, which was a huge success.
It was awesome.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I couldn't make it because I had COVID, so I couldn't go.
And I had COVID like the 2 or 3 weeks before that as well. Like I still had the cough at that time, the dry cough.
Yeah. It's the cool thing to do this time of the year. Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
So yeah. But that's good. And I'm sure there's lots more events on the horizon for One Up as well. And maybe in future episodes, I'll actually get more organized and announce them for you. So apologies to everyone if you were hoping to find out a little more. But yeah, next time I'll be a little bit better organized. So yeah. I think that's about all I've got. And
what else? I think that's it.
Nothing else comes to mind. It was just a quick catch-up episode. So yeah, I think
maybe I will mention the comp that was happening at Archer a few weeks back for Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 on Super NES.
Please do.
Yeah, so we got there. We're all stoked. Buzz turned up out of nowhere. Peter High came along. John McIntyre. Me and Ree were keen to get in some Mortal Kombat button bashing, but the Super Nintendo was broken when we got there, so there was no Ultimate. So they loaded up the Switch because they had the Switch there all the time on the projector screen. So it was like, okay, we'll do MK11. The dude was setting it up and 3-hour update to get it running. So no Mortal Kombat 11. So we're having a think, and John McIntyre spotted that we had, he's got the Sega Mega Drive Classics collection on the Switch, and he's like, let's just do Street Fighter 2 Champion Edition. So yeah, it became a Street Fighter 2 Championship Edition competition instead. Yeah, and awesome. That was still fun. Just not as much blood, but still a lot of fun.
Yep.
And yeah, good little night.
Trying to remember what I had in my cabinet back there, and I was like, is it CE? No, it's World Warrior I've got behind me. So
good old World Warrior. That's my favorite one. I like the old slow classic. That's my
it's a classic. It runs at my processing speed, which is good.
Yeah, for sure.
Nice and slow, and I can concentrate.
Yep. And the AI is not as brutal as it is in any of the later games. Nowhere near as brutal.
Yeah, that's the one that started it all, man. World Warrior. Yeah, definitely not Street Fighter 1. That was horrible. So yeah.
Shit. Yeah.
Anyways, mate, we should probably wrap this up then. So thank you for listening and watching, everybody, and hopefully we'll see you in person in the next couple of weeks.
That's it. BPAC at Maruka Bowls Club. Get on down there. Come check it out.
Yep. Down. Everyone catch up at the clubhouse. It's going to be awesome.
Beautiful.
All right. Well, thanks, everyone. See you next time.
So signing off. See you all.